Welcome to Determining the Main Idea, the BME Strategy lesson. BME stands for Beginning, Middle, and End. Please read the following paragraphs aloud along with me. Finding the main idea of an article is very important. After all, it is what the author wants the reader to take away after reading the article. The main idea is a thread that runs all through an article. If I can find an overarching idea that appears in the beginning, middle, and end, I can accurately determine the main idea of the entire article. By watching this video, I will learn how to apply the BME strategy in order to determine the main idea of an article. In the next part of this video, I will apply the BME strategy to a nonfiction article. Please notice how I interact with text. I will begin by analyzing the title, Educators See Smartphones in a New Light. I'm going to highlight the word educators because it is the subject of the title, and see the verb of the title. This article will be something about what educators see. I think I'm safe to assume that smartphones will be a major topic in the article, so I'm going to highlight that word. In a new light means in a different way than before. I'm not sure what that phrase means in relation to the rest of the title, so I'm going to wait and see if the article will clear that up for me. I will chunk the article into 3 parts, the beginning, middle, and end. After I read each part, I will determine what the part is mostly about. Then I will put all 3 parts together in order to determine the main idea of the entire article. I'll begin with the beginning. When smartphones first gained popularity among teenagers, some schools banned them. Now many educators are encouraging students to bring their devices to school. Why have educators changed their views on smartphones? They once banned smartphones. Oh, I'm going to highlight the word now. I think this word's really important. It shows change over time. Educators encourage students to bring their devices to school. Why have educators changed their views on smartphones? I bet the rest of the article will answer this question. This article will likely be something about how educators have changed their views. They once banned smartphones and now they're encouraging students to bring the devices to school. The beginning is mostly about how educators have changed their negative views about smartphones in school to positive views about smartphones in school. I'll read the middle next. Mrs. Johnson, a teacher at Lincoln Middle School, once saw smartphones as a distraction to learning. Recently, though, she said that the devices provide an array of learning experiences as students research topics, communicate ideas on a discussion board, and download apps that promote creativity. So Mrs. Johnson once saw smartphones as a distraction to learning. I'm going to highlight the word recently. This is another word that shows change over time. Mrs. Johnson made the comment that smartphones provide learning experiences. The middle is mostly about how one teacher changed her view of smartphones as distractions to a view of smartphones as tools that provide learning. I will move to the end. Now that teachers see smartphones as learning tools, it is no wonder that the very schools that once banned the devices are adopting BYOD, bring your own device. Instead of giving detentions for bringing smartphones to school, teachers are giving nods of approval. The idea that educators once banned the devices is brought up again in the end. Now, teachers are asking students to bring their own devices. That means they are encouraging the devices. They have changed their views. The end is mostly about how educators' negative views on smartphones have changed into positive views on smartphones. I'm ready to determine the main idea of the entire article. The main idea of the entire article is this: educators who once had negative views about smartphones in the classroom now see the devices as learning tools. Now it is your turn. I have posted a link to a News ELA article in the Edmodo classroom. Please read the article and apply the BME strategy in order to determine the main idea. Post the main idea.